7 people in a family, 6 names on their lease, and it cost them their apartment. The story in a KPBS investigation.
It was amazing, terrifying, because it wasn't what we expected.
A whole new view of DNA up close and in 3D. A historic breakthrough out of La Jolla's Salk Institute. And what's going on this weekend? We've got your weekend preview coming up. KPBS Evening Edition starts right now. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Ebony Monet. Another shakeup in the White House puts a former Camp Pendleton commander in charge of the West Wing. Marine General John Kelly is the new chief of staff for President Donald Trump. Kelly has been Secretary of Homeland Security. He visited San Diego in that role just a few months ago. Trump tweeted Kelly has been a true star in his administration. Kelly replaces Reince Priebus, the former Republican Party chairman who's been under fire this week. Trump spoke to a gathering of police officers in New York today, calling on Congress for more money for immigration enforcement. He also promised a crackdown on gangs, comparing some areas to the Wild West.
And when you see these towns, and when you see these thugs being thrown into the back of a paddy wagon, you just see them thrown in, rough. I said, please don't be too nice. Like when you guys put somebody in the car and you're protecting their head, you know, the way you put their hand over. Like, don't hit their head, and they've just killed somebody, don't hit their head. I said, you can take the hand away, okay?
Trump also criticized Congress for failing to repeal Obamacare. The Senate's so-called skinny repeal was defeated in an early morning vote. Arizona Senator John McCain drew a gasp when he voted no. After the vote, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell declared it's time to move on to other legislation. Democratic attorney generals across the country want legislation in place to prohibit discrimination against transgender service members. AGs from 18 states, including California, Oregon, and Washington, sent a letter to Congress Thursday. Their request comes a day after President Trump announced via Twitter that he would ban transgender people from the military. General Joseph Dunford has said military policy won't change until Defense Secretary Jim Mattis determines how it will be implemented. Next year, San Diegans may be asked to vote on changing the San Diego Association of Governments, the agency that manages transportation planning. KPBS Metro reporter Andrew Bowen explains.
SANDAG's board meeting today was full of activists critical of the agency. SANDAG is already the target of a reform bill in Sacramento, AB 805. The bill's most controversial provision would shift some power over transportation planning and funding from small towns to big cities. National City Mayor Ron Morrison says SANDAG's problems, including allegations of misleading voters on tax measures, are a local issue.
And yet 805 says that a senator from Modesto and an assembly person from shall we say, San Francisco should be the one to determine this local regional issue, not the people of San Diego County.
The bill's author, Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez-Fletcher, told SANDAG board members the agency has problems they may not be capable of fixing.
Sometimes an agency that was created by the state that spends state taxpayer dollars needs a little state intervention. And that's what we're doing with independent auditor. That's what we're doing with some of the other provisions in this bill.
A majority of board members voted to start discussing how SANDAG could put its own reform measures up for a vote in San Diego County. Even if that happens, SANDAG wouldn't be able to overturn reforms enacted in state law. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
Earlier this month, San Diego's North County Transit District awarded a nearly $500 million contract to MV Transportation to operate its fleet of Breeze, Lyft, and Flex buses. But hundreds of NCTD's bus drivers and mechanics allege they were stiffed in the deal. iNews Source reporter Brad Racino has more.
When NCTD ended its 7-year contract with First Transit in June, First Transit was supposed to pay out to its hundreds of drivers and mechanics earned benefits, including vacation, sick, and personal time. Yet drivers and their union told iNews Source the money isn't coming. Kathy Alvarez was with First Transit for 18 years and said she's currently owed
132 hours, so that's almost 3,000.
So is Kathleen Oliver, who's been an NCTD driver for 35 years.
Right now, after a meager paycheck came out with incorrect figures on it, I am still owed $3,052.52.
The drivers and mechanics belong to Teamsters Local 542, which has filed a grievance with First Transit. According to the union's secretary-treasurer, Jaime Vasquez, Local 542 is, quote, doing everything in its power to make our members whole.
NCTD wrote in an email that it was aware of the situation and has urged First Transit to resolve it immediately. A spokesman for First Transit declined to comment, citing the ongoing grievance process.
For KPBS, I'm iNews Source reporter Brad Racino.
iNews Source is an independently funded nonprofit partner of KPBS. Refugees travel a difficult road to the U.S., and for some, arriving here isn't the end of their troubles. Some refugee families say a resettlement agency staff encouraged them to falsify lease documents so they can find housing. That could put them at risk of losing their homes. Tonight, in part 2 of her investigation, KPBS City Heights reporter Taryn Minto introduces us to a family asked to leave their apartment because of misinformation on their lease.
Mustafa Inizan, Waila, Taryn.
The inside of Mustafa Inezan's 2-bedroom apartment in El Cajon didn't have any family photos or knickknacks. Instead, it had mismatched furniture, donated necessities, and the sound of 5 young sons roughhousing on a sunny afternoon. The apartment was a welcome home after the family fled violence in Syria. That's where Inezan says he was blinded by torture at the hands of government forces. A local resettlement agency placed the family of 7 in the home when they arrived in San Diego last year. But about 6 months after they moved in, they were faced with having to move out. A supervisor for the apartment complex told KPBS 7 people was too many for the apartment. Only 6 names were on the lease.
The problem is that they want us to leave the home. And I told them we are 7 before we lived in the house. I told them we are 7, to the IRC and the manager.
The IRC is the International Rescue Committee in San Diego. The resettlement agency uses federal funds to help refugees with housing and other needs during their first few months. Inezan says the IRC helped him navigate the English language lease, but somehow one name was left off. An apartment complex supervisor says the management company abides by federal housing guidelines that permit only 6 people in a 2-bedroom. The IRC has claimed it follows these recommendations too. The difference of 1 person meant the family was too big for the apartment and had to leave.
I don't know anyone, first of all. And I am blind. I don't see. Who would give us a house?
The Inezans arrived last year during the largest wave of refugees that San Diego has seen in years. The region's average monthly arrivals roughly tripled in August. September saw even more. This pressured resettlement staff to find homes using limited funds in a tight rental market. Fair housing advocate Estela de los Rios says Inezan is not the only one to face this predicament. She says between November and December last year, her nonprofit heard from at least 10 refugee clients who were also asked to leave their apartments because of too many occupants. Although she didn't determine which of San Diego's 4 resettlement agencies placed them, she says she contacted the IRC's executive director, David Murphy, to better understand the overall process.
I did ask the question. I said, many of the families are coming in and stating that they were placed at a unit and then later asked to be asked to leave because of the huge number of family members. And they would just say, well, we don't know how that happened.
KPBS interviewed IRC's Murphy about the Inezan family's situation.
I'm trying to figure out how 7 people, which should be, the number of the family should be very familiar to the resettlement agency, but 6 names appeared on the lease. How could that happen?
That, I have no idea why that would happen. Normally that would never happen. So, I mean, the number of people that live in the apartment are the number of people that are on the lease.
Later in an email, Murphy said he looked into the problem and couldn't figure out why it happened. For the Inezan family, the outcome was positive. On the day of KPBS's interview, a community member helping the family got a phone call.
Would you recommend that we come there today to pick up the application and to see the apartment?
A 3-bedroom was available, and the complex was willing to accept the family's limited income for rent. They moved in the next month. All 7 members are now listed on the lease. Taryn Mento, KPBS News.
KPBS media partner iNewsSource helped to fact-check this 5-month investigation. You can find more on the story and all of the documentation at kpbs.org. Wild and amazing. That's how a Salk Institute researcher described seeing a 3D image of DNA inside a living cell for the first time. The team worked with UC San Diego and say they've solved a biological mystery. Salk Associate Professor Claudia O'Shea led the team. Today, I sat down with her to discuss how this discovery could lead to cancer treatment breakthroughs. Can you tell me, what's the benefit of seeing the DNA inside a nucleus?
So in 1953, Watson and Crick discovered that DNA is a double helix. And that structure really revealed how our genetic information is stored and copied. But in the cell nucleus, 2 meters of DNA has to get compacted into a structure that's 1 millionth of a millimeter. And so the structure, DNA is not a double helix in the cell nucleus. It actually gets folded into these other structures. And we don't know what they are. We haven't seen them, right? We haven't seen these structures that determine if our genes are accessed and used, right? And structure determines function.
And you say up until now. Can you talk about your team's discovery?
Yeah, sure. So what Horn U in my lab discovered was a DNA dye that diffuses into the cell nucleus, and when you shine light on it, it actually catalyzes a metal dusting on the surface of the DNA so that it can now be revealed in the electron microscope. It creates kind of a metal cast. And together with Mark Ellisman and colleagues at UCSD, he's created 3D imaging techniques, which is like a CT scan of a body. It's a CT scan of a cell that then allows you to reconstruct sort of the metal cast of DNA. And so for the very first time, you can see actually DNA structure inside the cell take a journey from sort of base pairs to megabases, right, across these scales. And that's the scales at which biology occurs. That's what we've not been able to see, right? How different DNA structures actually give rise to different genes, different cells, and different cell fates.
So how does seeing a 3D image of a genome allow scientists to possibly manipulate it?
Right. No, so that's one of the most exciting things, right, is in cancer, certain genes are turned off. They're there, but they are what are called silenced. And that's what gives rise to uncontrolled replication. And viruses can do the same thing. And so the question is, could we turn these things back on, make a tumor cell remember the structure that could make it normal again? But we don't know what those structures are. So people have been trying to develop epigenetic drugs, but it's been based on really not knowing what we even were trying to change, okay? But now we can see the structure. We could actually potentially design molecules specifically to those shapes that only turn on those genes. Pathologists grade cancers based on a light microscope at 20x. We can now see it at 29,000x, and we can see the genome. So now basically what those structures will tell us could help us diagnose individual cancers and see actually that in a completely new way, but also design new drugs that specifically go after those structures that are unique to them. And And that's kind of wild.
And for the layperson at home with not very much science knowledge, or the one sitting right in front of you, just to sum it up, how significant would you say this discovery is?
When you see something for the first time, the universe expands, you know. Things change, and you begin to see what a transcription factor would see, what a virus would see. And it gives you this sort of ability now to navigate, and I hope to change the realities for cancer patients in a way that we were blind to before, right? Because without illuminating those structures, you can't rationally design drugs against what you don't know and what you can't see, right? You're chasing a ghost. Well, we've taken sort of the sheet off, and now we can see underneath, and it's not as scary when you know what it is.
San Diego will host a major summer soccer event for the next 3 years, providing a boost for local tourism economy. KPBS reporter Eric Anderson has the story.
The U.S. Soccer Development Academy is bringing its signature summer tournament here beginning in June of next year. The announcement came at the U.S. Surf Cup. That's a local tournament that brings more than 10,000 players to San Diego each year. The Surf Cup organization will also run the Soccer Academy event. The National Soccer event is expected to attract 32,000 visitors next year. The San Diego Tourism Authority's Carrie Capich says that means more than 20,000 hotel rooms will be filled during the two-week event.
Because the kids will be here for a week at a time, they will be doing other things like maybe going to the attractions, going shopping. So what you see is a ripple into your economy as people are going and doing things and activities throughout the San Diego community.
U.S. soccer officials say the event has been held in 5 cities over the past 10 years. This is the first time the organization has signed a multi-year contract with one location. Local officials say the addition of the National Soccer Academy bolsters San Diego's position as a soccer-centric community with a growing national reputation. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
College students are counting their pennies. Many want to know what happens to their student loans and repayment plans under the Trump administration. NPR education correspondent Anya Kamenetz takes a look.
Recent college graduates who borrow are leaving school with an average of $34,000 in student loans. The total loan balance in the United States has nearly tripled in the past decade to $1.3 trillion. Now, nothing's going to happen to the student loan program without Congress's sign-off, but we can read the tea leaves from President Trump's budget request for cutbacks to the loan program and some regulatory moves from Education Secretary Betsy DeVos. First, DeVos has pulled back on oversight of servicers. These are the for-profit companies that manage your student loan payments. That's an issue because these servicers have faced a lot of complaints, including lawsuits. The Federal Consumer Financial Protection Bureau alleges that one of these companies, quote, illegally cheats borrowers out of repayment rights through shortcuts and deception. There have also been allegations of misapplied payments, unclear communication, and subprime lending. So, the advice for those chipping away at your loans right now: when you deal with servicers, stay organized. Keep records of your calls and emails and letters, and do your own research and homework. Second, if you are considering a program called Public Service Loan Forgiveness, there may be reason to be cautious. Public Service Loan Forgiveness erases student loans after 10 years of employment for the government or a qualifying nonprofit. Almost 500,000 people are enrolled in this program: teachers, doctors, lawyers, even some NPR employees. But Trump wants to cancel the program. It's unclear right now whether that would mean grandfathering in the people already enrolled. And even the program's advocates believe it could be downsized or capped. 2017 is the year that the first enrollees in Public Service Loan Forgiveness are supposed to start getting their loans erased. So we'll keep watching to see the impact from the Trump administration.
Analyze the continuing fallout from President Trump's tweets on transgender military personnel. Look at how lack of housing in San Diego is reaching a crisis, and find out why a website that debunks fake news is in real trouble. It's all on the KPBS Roundtable tonight at 8:30.
A good way to beat the heat this weekend may be to hit up the beach, but you'll want to be careful of high tides. Regina Miller has more in tonight's forecast.
Well, taking a look across Southern California here, we're seeing quiet conditions, but when you come into inland areas, Four Corners, they're seeing some showers and thunderstorms as some moisture there, giving way to that afternoon activity popping up. Now, for the metro areas tonight, we're just going to see some increasing late night clouds, an overnight low of 70 degrees. And into Ramona, 60 degrees for your overnight low. Borrego Springs, 79. Oceanside, 67 degrees with some of those increasing low clouds for the late night hours there. And as we go into Saturday, you notice that there are some of those afternoon thunderstorms that are coming into the Four Corners once again with some of that monsoonal moisture. We may see some of that moisture working its way in to interior locations, the mountains, maybe even around the deserts as we go into the late weekend. Now, for your Saturday, Borrego Springs tops out at 108, Ramona at 91 degrees, San Diego at 77 degrees. Along the coastal locations, we have the morning clouds giving way to sun, 79 for Saturday, and Sunday we're going to see a temperature of 79. Notice the humidity starting to creep in there on Sunday, Monday, and then through the middle of next week, we're going to start to feel some of that moisture coming back into the area. Inland areas, you're going to see skies becoming sunny on Saturday at 88, 88 also on Sunday, and partly sunny skies. A little cooler, partly sunny on Monday and on Tuesday with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. In the mountain locations, we are going to see some of that moisture coming in. That could lead to a thunderstorm around for Sunday afternoon. Monday, partly sunny, and we may see a thunderstorm coming in for your Tuesday afternoon in spots as well in the mountain areas. Also, there could be an afternoon shower in the desert locations on Sunday. And on Monday, we have a partly sunny sky at 102. Tuesday, there could be a thunderstorm in spots in some of the desert locations. I'm Regina Miller, KPBS News.
Still not sure what you're doing this weekend? KPBS Arts editor Nina Guerin has some options for you.
Hello and happy Friday. We begin with a group exhibition in Balboa Park called Millennial Pink. San Diego Art Institute puts on a show that celebrates the evolution of LGBTQ imagery. The photographs and videos embrace a positive and beautiful look at sexual fluidity and gender neutrality. There are a variety of events planned to coincide with Millennial Pink, including a documentary screening, a dance party, and a storytelling event. Musicians Rodrigo y Gabriela are back in San Diego and they're celebrating an anniversary. The acoustic rock duo from Mexico have re-released their self-titled album and are out on tour performing classic songs from that record. That means you'll hear the popular Tamakun, as well as their cover of Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. Next, the San Diego Gay Men's Chorus highlights Divas. This new show will spotlight music by Barbra Streisand, Aretha Franklin, and Whitney Houston, plus modern divas like Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga. The 200-member chorus will perform all the hits and provide a few dance numbers to boot. Finally, the San Diego Symphony is bringing Harry Potter back. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets will be shown on a giant screen while a live orchestra performs John Williams' iconic score. This is an outdoor screening that's part of the Bayside Summer Nights concert series. That's all for this weekend. For KPBS Arts, I'm Nina Guerin.
Stay up to date on the San Diego art scene with the KPBS Arts Calendar and our arts newsletter. Sign up at kpbs.org/newsletter. If movies are more your thing, there's both a serious war film and an action thriller in theaters this weekend, as Mad Max Fury Road stars Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron square off at the box office. KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando has a preview.
First of all, I want to catch up with Dunkirk, which opened during Comic-Con. The film looks to the real events surrounding the evacuation of British soldiers trapped on the beaches of Dunkirk, France in mid-1940. Christopher Nolan's film captures the chaos, fear, and horror of war, as well as the heroism of young men fighting for their country and their lives. It's one of Nolan's better efforts, focused, unsentimental, and effective. But if an action drama about real events is too somber for your taste, then you can sample the soundtrack-driven, MTV-inspired rush of Atomic Blonde. The film comes from the co-director and action design company behind John Wick. But this time, it's a woman driving the story and the action.
Fasten your seatbelt.
David Leitch directs Charlize Theron in a spy thriller set just before the fall of the Berlin Wall. But Berlin's a mere backdrop to a story of dangerous deceptions. The film has a very different look and style from The Coldest City, the stark black and white graphic novel that inspired it. Atomic Blonde proves that Leitch knows how to stage a fight. But stylistically, it's a bit uneven. He keeps the fights gritty and realistically grueling. But sometimes he gets lost in sexing up Theron's British spy. But it is refreshing to have a woman without superpowers taking charge in the male-dominated action genre. Despite some flaws, Atomic Blonde is a great fix for action junkies. But if you're looking for something a little more family-friendly, then I suggest checking out the Studio Ghibli Festival at the Angelica Film Center. You can catch Hayao Miyazaki's magical Totoro next week. Miyazaki has been called the Disney of Japan, but he's really more like the Kurosawa of animation. You don't believe me? Then check Totoro out. Beth Accomando, KPBS News.
You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.